By studying animal behavior, we can get a more accurate prediction than the instruments that have been developed for this purpose. Hello. Welcome to the HSA YouTube channel. Numerous studies have shown that dogs, cats, birds and even snakes can sense the approach of a natural disaster hours or even days in advance. Such cases are recorded from ancient times to the present day. Since then, animal-based disaster forecasting has been used in many countries. A calm before the storm or even unusual excitement can be a sign that something unusual is about to happen. After the intro, I brought you some interesting facts for your enjoyment. Even in stories dating back to BC, we can find the phenomenon of domestic and wild animals fleeing the affected area in troops before an earthquake. Over the millennia, this rumor has been confirmed, with surviving accounts from 1805 of birds, dogs and livestock in Naples calling out to warn of danger. In San Francisco in 1906, horses galloped for miles to escape an impending earthquake. In China, animal behavior-based forecasting has been used successfully since 1975. Then, despite the cold January weather, hundreds of snakes left their nests behind. Residents, noticing this, also left the area and were saved from the earthquake that occurred shortly afterwards. Since then, China has continued to monitor the links between reptile behavior and earthquakes. But we don't need to go back that far in time. During the 2004 Indonesian earthquake and subsequent tsunami in Sri Lanka, elephants and flamingos left their habitats behind and migrated to higher ground. In Thailand, buffaloes on the beach peered at the sea for a few moments before turning their backs on it and running up a nearby hilltop. Minutes later, the tsunami arrived. At the same time, sensors gave no clear warning of the disaster's arrival. Many sensors were not even operational at the time of the tragedy, and in some places the right equipment was not installed or communication lines were jammed. In the 2010s, there was already more research into animal monitoring. The results show that the closer to the epicenter of an earthquake, the earlier the animals can sense the approach of the quake, even days in advance. The researchers explain this phenomenon by the fact that 2 weeks before the earthquake, a disturbance in the local atmospheric electricity could be detected, which could be due to an increase in pressure at depth. Animals could have sensed this long before the disaster occurred. Not only can some species predict earthquakes, but they can also sense violent storms hundreds of kilometers away. In 2014, migratory birds returning to the U.S. from South America did a 180-degree turn and traveled another 700 kilometers. After their departure, Tennessee was hit by a tornado outbreak, with more than 80 tornadoes bearing down on the area. The explanation is that strong thunderstorms and tidal waves emit very powerful infrasounds that can travel thousands of kilometers. The hearing of many bird species is extremely sensitive to this sound. This can help them not only to escape but also to orient themselves during their longer flights. Although unusual behaviors, which can predict natural disasters, have been documented, studies and research have not yet produced sufficient results to be used safely in practice. In the not-too-distant future, however, it is conceivable that a combination of instrumental measurements and animal reactions will predict the approach of storms or even earthquakes. What do you think? If you liked the video, check out my channel. Thanks for your attention. Have a nice day. Bye.